Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well. This is Radhika here again. This video is kind of an esoteric topic. It's about how to generate emotions so that you can basically master them. It's an emotion practicing technique. We all have an emotional body, which is it's a metaphysical concept, but that's the body which stores our emotions, which gets filled with emotions, and which also stores emotions when we don't either express them or let go of them or, manifest those emotions in some way in this three-dimensional world. So, um, yeah, it's a good technique. It's a good technique to purge emotions. It's a good technique to kind of clear the palette, so to speak, clear the emotional palette. So how every day in the morning you clean your teeth, you clean your tongue, and you kind of make your mouth fresh again so that you can taste different things. Imagine if you never brushed, you would not be able to taste things the way you can taste them now. So it's that sort of a technique. Excuse me, my nose is so itchy. um so basically, I don't recommend doing this when you are new in the process of healing, but it's you can do it when you have kind of been through this whole cycle of narcissistic personality disorder. You have realized what it is, you have healed after being in a narcissistic scenario, and now all this is kind of, you know about it, you're aware of it, and you are on the path of improving your life, for your spiritual growth, your emotional growth, your financial growth in the 3D world, etc. So so this technique is very helpful if you are in that part of your journey. If you are very new to NPD, I don't recommend you do this because if you are new, what you need the most is you need to calm down your emotions. So you need to come to a neutral or a calm state where you are not as triggered anymore. Because if you have been in a narcissistic scenario, there's a whole lot of emotion going on all the time. So first you need to calm down and get yourself to a place of calmness and relaxation, and where you are not feeling all these emotions. So you come in a more neutral place where you are not getting triggered all the time. So it's just a disclaimer out there, so don't try this if you are very new in the healing process. So for those who are have been through it and now who want to kind of master emotions, have um, more of a subtle understanding of emotions, and as empaths you can do that. This is like the empaths superpower, because empaths understand emotions to a very deep extent. Um, so basically what this technique is that you are yourself realizing that you generate the emotions that um, that you feel inside of yourself. So what this will do is this will help you separate the two. You will be able, this is the emotion, you will be able to observe the emotion. So you will understand, I am this and this is my emotion, with this technique. So this will help you not become the emotion, because for empaths who are unaware, a lot of times we become the emotion. If you're angry, you will become so angry and so full of rage, you would want to throw things and just destroy everything around you. If you're sad, you become so sad that you feel like, I don't want to live anymore, or something, very very huge like that. And that is because an empath's emotions are so deep that when an empath feels the emotion, the empathetic person, they become the emotion. The whole being becomes that particular emotion. But we have to realize that we are not that emotion, we are the observer of that emotion. And to get there, this technique is very helpful. um, so say, uh, So imagine yourself or your emotional body as a blank canvas. And what we are trying to do with this technique is we are trying to paint this canvas in different emotions. So these emotions can be fear, sadness, happiness, humor, etc. So what you do is first you pick an emotion. So say I pick sadness, okay? So I want to kind of feel sadness, and I want to observe sadness that I feel, and I want to purge any sadness that is inside my being. So to do this, what you do is you create repositories. So you create a sadness repository. So this will be all your sad memories, all your sad things that make you sad, maybe about the world, images that make you sad, movies that make you sad, music that generates that feeling of sadness within you. um, so make a repository of this. So this is some work, right? So it's not a very easy technique, but if you are a psychic, or if you are like a coach, or if you just are a person who wants to have a subtler control over their own emotions, instead of control, I could say, I think I should say, if you want to observe your emotions and you want to work with your emotions at a more subtle level, then you can do this. So create these repositories. So it's some work, it's not very easy. So create these repositories of sadness, fear, happiness, gratitude, humor, some things that you find funny, and work with these. So in the beginning of this, when you want to do this, kind of come to a neutral state. So whatever you can do which gets you to a neutral state, say you meditate, you listen to a mantra, you if you can't do meditation, do a guided meditation, something like that. So sit still and do one of these things, and come to a state of a little bit of stillness, or a little bit of calmness. And now you set the intention that I want to feel, my emotional body wants to feel so and so emotion. So if you want to feel sadness, so feel that sadness. And to do that, listen to the music that makes you sad, or see the images that make you sad, or think of the memories, you can even write them down, that make you sad. And while you're doing that, if you have sadness that is left over inside your emotional body, it will come out, and you might start crying, and you might start, like, expressing that sadness in different ways. And for sadness, mostly most of us, we cry. So you might start crying, or you might feel that sadness in your body, the heaviness, or the depression. You actually feel depressed when you're sad. You don't, your aura kind of goes in, it doesn't go out. When you're happy, when you're exuberant, the aura goes out. When you're very sad, it kind of comes in, it becomes like less and less. So feel that sadness. And when you're doing that, consciously notice that this is me experiencing this sadness. So even when you're sad, be aware of being sad. So that is how you kind of separate yourself as an empath from the emotion, so that you don't become the emotion. Even when you are sad, you are aware of being sad. So actually that awareness is what you are. You are experiencing everything, and you are the experiencer, right? So that's this practice will actually help you detach a little bit from your emotions. And as an empath, when you have learned to do that, it will be super helpful to you, because that's when you can really make your gifts shine. Because if you become the emotion, then an empath always is up and down, because you are always becoming the emotion. And that is an empath's quality, because an empath is like water, right? As I said, if you go into a jar, you will take the shape of the jar. If you add blue color to water, it becomes blue. If you add red to it, it becomes red. But as an empath, you have to kind of learn to observe the emotion without becoming it, and this practice will really help you. So what it's doing is, any sadness that is left over in you will kind of be purged in that moment when you are making yourself feel sad. And similarly, you can do for other emotions like fear. You can, pick out some images from horror movies that make you feel full of fear. Or if there's something that you really fear the most, like plane crashes, or diving in the deep sea, or something like that, something that really scares you, like a closed space or something like that, so you can watch videos of that. So what this does is, it a separates you from the emotion. Secondly, it makes you realize that emotions get created inside of you via the stimuli that you give yourself. And a lot of time the stimuli is external, like a narcissistic person in your environment. But what this practice will tell you is that a, you can observe your emotion, and b, you can also, by practicing this technique, if you become like a master of this technique, you can switch your emotions. So if you are feeling completely, if you are observing, so now you don't feel right now. If you have mastered this technique, you observe. So you will observe that the narcissistic person is making me irritated, because the narcissistic person is triggering me on this particular point. At that point, when you notice this, what you can do is, you can now have the choice to not be irritated but be happy instead. And how can you be happy? You be happy because now you are the observation layer which is observing the irritation. But the observation layer now removes the focus from the irritation and goes to the happiness repository inside of you that is giving you happiness. So as soon as the observer moves the observation from the irritation to the happiness, what you observe is happiness. So you will understand that even being around a very irritating or a narcissistic or a challenging person, you still have the power inside of you to change your focus and to change the emotional state in which you are. So yeah, this was a technique on how to generate emotions and how to kind of work with emotions, mastering your own emotions. So I hope this helps you in some way, and I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.